Hello, everybody! So sorry there was no Sunday Funday last week. Life kind of got in the way. We just...
Also, sucky showtimes.
Yeah, sometimes kind of did suck ass. I will try to get y'all a Sorry to Bother You review. Yeah, like even Hotel Transylvania 3 barely had any decent showtimes. It was fucking bizarre. But hey, we are going to be here again for Equalizer 2, the new Denzel Washington film. And hey, Megan's here, and she's not seen the first one. Though, I will let everybody know, and I think Megan was the same way. You really don't need to see the first one before this movie. It's not like it has any super strong plot threads.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not really missing much. I mean, I'm guessing his wife was in the first one, or she got killed in the first, or something.
Nope. She was mentioned. That was about it.
Okay.
But those who are wondering about the Equalizer, who hadn't seen the first one, long story short, Denzel Washington plays an ex-CIA or something like that.
He's ex-military.
Yeah, he used to be a guy who would go and kill people. He was the best at what he did, pretty much. Now, that's pretty much it. There's some backstory that they kind of let out throughout the different movies, though this one pretty much touches on the exact same things that were mentioned in the first movie. So that's, like I said, the first one's not really neat. And those who are also wondering, yes, this is based on the Equalizer show that came out in like the 60s, 70s. It's been a few decades. It's loosely based on, put it that way. It's a lot more violent, this is. So, since Megan did not see the first one, I have seen the first one. I will let Megan give us her opinion on the film first.
Yeah, right.
Megan gives it a hard eye.
I mean, it was good. Denzel Washington, turned in an awesome performance. He was badass when he needed to be. He was intelligent and sympathetic and compassionate when he needed to be.
Not bad for a 64-year-old.
Kicking ass like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's surprising. He's that old? God.
He's the same age as my mother.
Which means the same age as my mom.
Uh-huh.
Or that same age that she's going to be come December.
Yeah.
She was a late baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. To kind of add on to what you're saying, yes, there is great performance from Denzel Washington, which I can't think of a single movie he turns in a bad performance. Off the top of my head, he does always great work.
Well, I haven't really seen him in much other than, Remember the Titans. And he was good in that, really good.
Well, let's see. I've seen Remember the Titans, Virtuosity, Equalizer, of course. Magnificent Seven, you saw him in.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the Magnificent Seven remake, of course.
I should remember that since it's sitting right over there.
Yeah. Have my copy of it right here. And he's right in front of it, too. He's always great. Glory as well, Training Day.
I may have seen Glory back in high school.
I'm the worst person ever because I laugh at a part that is not meant to be funny. I think I even showed you the part. Just quick tangent, sorry. At one point in Glory during the final battle sequence, which is actually really emotional, really heart-wrenching sequence, also really get your blood pumping. Might get your blood pumping if your TV's hooked up to your pot dispenser or something. They're charging across this beach, and that's the only way they can get to this fort. And these guys they're just getting slaughtered because they're walking into a killing field in all essence. And at one point, artillery shell hits, and you see a dude go about 40 feet in the air, screaming the whole time. I have no idea why. It makes me laugh. It's the funniest damn thing in the world, and it's not meant to be. It's almost as bad as me laughing during it with that kid going face first in that barricade. And I felt almost terrible because in the theater when we saw it, I was the only asshole laughing. I was laughing heartily, too. There was another part in that movie I laughed at that nobody else was laughing at. I don't know why it made me laugh.
Was it possible?
It was a lot of those. I was just,
Not the least bit scary.
Yeah.
And I am like one of the biggest wusses when it comes to horror movies.
Oh, no. Our friend Adrian, she's much, much worse. But to talk about Equalizer 2, yeah, like I said, Denzel Washington, fantastic in it. Most of the actors do good with what they are, except for...
I was saying a lot of good character moments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does good. And most of the other actors, like I said, for the most part, are really good. The main bad guy, he's over the top a bit.
You see it coming a mile away.
Yeah. Warning, there might be spoilers coming in. And so, if you're wondering how I feel about the movie, it's a film. I give it a hard A right now. I'll get into my score here in a bit, but...
Yeah, I think my problem was, like, I was expecting, like, a lot of badass moments, a lot of, him doling out his brand of justice.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's like, it dragged a lot, like, in order to, like, build the story. Like, it was a very, very, very slow burn.
It really does not help that the beginning of the film, it's from the trailer where you see him on a train in Istanbul, Turkey, obviously. And he beats up those guys. That's how the movie begins. It's like, alright, so here's setting a tone. That's a good tone to set. It never keeps that
it goes
pace.
to him as a Lyft driver, beating the shit out of these guys who, like, beat, drugged, and possibly raped a prostitute.
Yeah, and almost pretty much left her for dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's moments like that sprinkled throughout the entire film. Him pretty much being a vigilante.
Mm-hmm. Including looking out for this one kid who lives in his building.
Mm-hmm. It just... I wanted that. That would have actually been interesting. In all essence, to kind of describe what happened in the first movie, because of him doing that, led to this hitman going after him. Very much in vein of No Country for Old Men in certain ways with Javier Bardem. I can't pronounce his name.
Javier Bardem?
Yeah, I don't know why I can't say his name. I'm dumb.
He's from your brain.
Yeah. I'll say we're in Texas, so yeah, we're cooking Texas, like fried eggs
summer,
here.
100 and some odd degrees.
Texas summer. Oh shit, hell's actually on Earth. But no, yeah, just pretty much a hitman's chasing after Denzel Washington and trying to kill him for different reasons. But that's the main focus of the film in all essence. There's still him helping out people he knows. And not only that, but the people they surround him with and him helping them, they're really nice people. You feel for them. You care for their characters a lot.
Yeah, like one scene with the old man at the end, like I was getting a little bit emotional. I was like,
I was talking about an Equalizer. This one, it still pulls on that, but I think I know exactly what the problem was. It's just the thing I just mentioned a little bit ago before we started this up. The movie has this undercover plot, spy agency bullshit that
Yes, spy mystery thing.
I could not give any shits about that plot thread. It constantly felt like that was interrupting a really good movie. Because the stuff between him helping the old Jewish guy who believes that his sister died in the Holocaust is like, alright, I want to see that resolution to that story.
Trying to recover that painting, only to get something even better.
Yeah, I wanted to see him be a vigilante and saving people. Like we learned from the beginning when he saves this little girl, turns out, it was an abusive father, well, abusive to, his wife, who he stole their child and all essence went to their country.
Yeah, not because he actually cared about her, cared about the daughter, because just to hurt his ex-wife.
Yeah, hurt her even more. And then you learn it's a lady that he knows who owns this bookshop. And it's like, aww, you just get a nice aww. It's like, oh, you're such a nice serial killer. Technically, if you want to look at it that way. But still, it's one of those, I like that. That bit was interesting.
Yeah, seeing bad people get their just desserts, it's, I think, very universal.
Yeah. And all that is cool, but when you get into this deep, I don't know how to call it, deep throat, I guess, spy crap, just could not give any shits. No, every fucking spy show that is on NBC, because they're the ones who do it the most, and even for to a lesser extent, some of the shit that CBS has been doing with NCIS Los Angeles stores and NCIS at times, where they have to do this like, oh well, we're against this agency. There's this undercover stuff that it's trying to act like it's super complicated, and realistically, like just like with those, the plot is paper thin.
Yeah, I think we've already mentioned this, but that guy you see coming like a mile away.
Yeah.
Though I do like they kind of like, okay, well, we realize, you know, the movie even realizes that, you know, like, okay, well, our bad guy is
terrible.
Is very transparent. It was like, we know the audience is going to see this coming a mile away. It's like, wow, they actually didn't insult our intelligence. And they just like, okay, well, yeah, here's the reveal. Here's, you know, Denzel Washington figuring it out. And the rest of the movie is like...
It's kind of like them playing a cat and mouse game.
Yeah, I was like, wouldn't that be called the... No, wait, never mind. But yeah, cat and mouse, like, pretty much like...
Trying to get each other and...
ends with a...
It is one of the dumber moments I've seen in a while. It's pretty much 4 guys storming this town that has been evacuated thanks to a hurricane, and it seems to be affecting them none.
Yeah, having a shootout while there's a hurricane going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like all this wind, water, and rain, and the thunder, and the lightning, and the da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, there's so much stupid throughout it, and it's arguably one of the things that can all but ruin this movie. It's like, Jesus, why are y'all doing this? This is the dumbest thing y'all could have thought to do.
And it's like, we know he's going to take these guys down. We know he's going to get the bad guy, and the bad guy's going to die in some...
horrible way.
Yeah, it's a horrible, satisfying way. It's like, can we just get on with it?
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there, it's like, can we please wrap this up?
Yeah. You don't give a shit. That's the biggest problem. Because the plot thread's not interesting. So to end with that being the major thing, though there is obviously another reveal between the Jewish guy and him looking for his believed to be dead sister, or at least her portrait.
Yeah.
And also the guy seems to have dementia. He's starting to kind of lose his faculties. Though he still remembers some, especially, I mean, you gotta remember, he was a fucking kid in the Holocaust.
Yeah,
He's going to be a little scarred mentally.
Yeah, I said he was like 9 years old.
Yeah. But...
Yeah, of course, I do like his advice at the beginning. Always be polite to someone who has access to your toothbrush. It's like...
that sounds like decent advice, actually, sir. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But, like I said, that other plot thread, if that had been just the major pushing point, just all these little vigilante stories he was going through, mm-hmm. that would have been good. That would have been interesting. Some people might say, oh, well, it's just retrain the first one. That's fine, because it still would have been an interesting film. Instead, what they did with this undercover, deep spy agency shit, that, again, it's paper thin, and you figure it out like that, and the bad guy is transparently bad, you don't give a shit. You're really out of fucks to care, and it bogs down the movie. In fact, I think if you took that out of this film, the movie would be rather decent at the very least. Like, it could easily be a 7. It could be an 8 even. Because the action's still well shot. There's still good writing whenever it doesn't involve that other plot thread.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the one character that he kind of ends up befriending, what's his name, Mel?
The kid?
Well, kid, he was 30 years old. I'm pretty sure the actor's not young.
Well, he's supposed to be like in his 20s.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a high school kid, and he obviously looks like a 30-year-old.
No, he's in college. He's going to like an art university.
No, he goes to a art school. It's a high school thing. It's meant to be an academy of some sort.
Whatever.
But anyway, the guy looks like he's 30.
Miles.
Yeah.
Is his name.
Miles Morales. But he's actually interesting. You really care for his character. And honestly, I would have rather seen maybe like the gang members that he pretty much rescued Miles from, Denzel having to take care of them, than dealing with this other spy agent bullshit that I don't give a shit about. I like Miles. Miles is an interesting character. Mm-hmm. I care for Miles. Miles seems like a cool guy.
Yeah, Denzel being his father figure, it's like you almost want to like, you see him through Denzel Washington's eyes, and you want him to do well. You want him to succeed and get out of that bad neighborhood and actually use his talents to better himself in his life.
Yeah,
instead of ending up in a gang.
Yeah, that's the best thing. Is like he can, like Denzel even pretty much brings up to his face at one point, and after he's being fucking stupid, he says like. He's like, hey, you want to kill somebody? Here, fucking kill me. And he pretty much gives the kid a gun, and he's like, here, and he puts it to his head, like, here, fucking kill somebody. You want to kill somebody? Fucking kill me. And and eventually the kid just breaks down. He doesn't do it because Denzel points out the truth to him. That's not the life you want. That's not what you're good at. Mm-hmm. So do what you're good at, because he's actually a good artist. He can do some interesting things. There's so much like, oh, that's actually kind of neat. And they don't give us that storyline that much. So much of this is devoted.
Yeah,
like, it feels like half this movie's devoted to the spy agent shit that I don't care about.
I would say that, like trying to protect Miles from the gang members, that would have made for so much more interesting story rather than constantly cutting away to the mystery spy thriller whatever bullshit. It's like, I'm sorry he lost his friend. Like, spoiler alert, she ends up getting killed. That kicks off the whole thing.
That's even said in the previews as well.
Yeah, his friend of his, like, she gets killed, and it starts this whole thing, and it's like, okay, that sucks. Like, can we wrap that plot up and, like, keep the movie moving forward?
Yeah, like, in the first movie, they only mention a little bit about his backstory for a little bit when they introduce his friend, that lady who ends up dying. And it only is like about 15 minutes of the actual film, and it feels like it adds to the character in the first movie. Here, constantly having that being a major thing, constantly coming up, it feels like it's just detracting instead. Because we don't get to see this character be badass or be, part of this little, like, community. And that would have been a neat thing, and that's the reason why I think a better ending for this film would have been, the gang members are trying to go after Miles, and Denzel's having to protect him.
laying siege to their apartment building is like having to protect Miles.
Yeah, and having all the other, like, community members helping out, and kind of...
And then, in their own little ways.
Yeah, that would have been so much more interesting of a ending, and especially you could have had a lot more...
I mean, it's a little bit cliche, but...
The final fight here was cliche, except for the fact that it took place in a hurricane.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's
just, like something out of a Sharknado or something.
Yeah, it's pretty much... Actually, it's almost the ending that's out of this one movie with Casper Van Dien and... Oh, what the hell's his name? Robert Englund. I can't remember the name of this damn movie. Yeah, those two names don't sound like they go together. Trust me. They go together about as good as a cucumber and peanut butter sandwich.
I say Friday needs some money.
I guess so. I will give Robert Englund as much. He's just hamming it up throughout the whole movie. The movie is only memorable to me for a few moments. One, there is a shootout in the middle of a hurricane. Much like this one, it seems to not really be affecting the actual fight in any essence, which is stupid.
Well, it affects them, like, towards the end of the movie.
Well, what I mean is, like, there's barely any major effect.
Yeah.
Like you don't really see him, like, trying desperately to fight against something, or, like, debris flying around and hitting them or anything like that. No, it's just, like, barely. It's like, it's like a little bit of wind and rain.
Yeah, there was a brief little mentions like, oh, it's windy. It's like, this ought to make things interesting.
It barely comes up.
Yeah.
But I can't remember this movie. It's going to bother me now. I'm going to have to look it up.
Yeah.
But also in it, at one point, the other two parts that are interesting about that movie over Equalizer 2, especially. At one point, a guy has obviously a silencer on the gun, and it makes his gun into a grenade launcher. I'm like, it's not how that works. And then there is a flub they left in the movie. Casper Van Diem is walking away, and he doesn't quite judge this coffee table right, and trips the fuck over it. Like, it's not even like a little dunk, like you can barely notice, like, whoa. Like, he all but busts his ass on screen. And then just kind of walks off like, nope, 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 didn't do anything stupid.
Totally meant to do that.
Yeah. Oh. But yeah, I wanted to like this movie a lot more than I ended up liking it. It's not bad. It's the worst part. It's
mediocre.
Yeah, it's egregiously mediocre. It's just meh. There's a lot of meh throughout the entire film.
Yeah, the character moments, and especially Denzel, those were the highlights of this movie. That's what made it enjoyable. Mm-hmm. Then it would, like, return to that storyline. It's like, okay, I don't care. This is, like, really slowing down the movie. It's like, where's my fast forward button?
It's more overtly complicated and shittily done than anything you've seen in Mission Impossible. Ironically enough, since that's next week.
I just like how they kept, like, going back from America to Brussels. And every time they went back to Brussels, Belgium, Brussels. You could just say Brussels if it's absolutely necessary to
tell us where the fuck it is.
Yeah, it's like if it's absolutely necessary to let us know, it's like, okay, we're back in Brussels. Just say Brussels. Don't say Brussels, Belgium the whole time.
Or better they don't even tell us shit because the two places look absolutely nothing fucking alike. And on top of everything, one has people that are not speaking English at all. So I was like, why you gotta tell us this? So
much for not insulting our intelligence.
Yeah. So, what would you give this movie as a final score?
I was saying a good solid 8, but the more we're talking, 7. That's what I meant to say.
8.
Oh, he has fried my brain too. Like, just leave me behind. Just now it's too late for me.
Make it sunny side up.
I was saying Texas, like, we're done. Flip us over. Yeah, I was gonna give this a 7, but I don't know. The more we're kind of like talking about some of the flaws, and it's like, okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one that like felt this kind of dragged at parts.
Yeah, there was points I was just like, come on, movie, let's move.
I even kind of doze off at one point.
Yeah, this is an easy doze movie, and you can doze off in certain spots and not miss
Well, they're
much.
about to like go to the apartment where Miles was, and then next thing I know is like they're going to the town that's being evacuated because of the hurricane. I'm like, how the fuck did we get here? How did you get in the trunk of this car? What? I'm so confused.
Stupid things happened.
I was like, yeah, the more we're talking about its flaws, like, yeah, I have to give it a 6.
You're a little bit more generous than me.
5, I'm guessing.
Realistically, this is a 4. It's not... there is some good bits, but it feels like it's just so bogged down by a not interesting storyline. And because it's like over half the movie, I feel like over half the movie is completely throwaway. It's just discardable. Discardable? Is that a word? Yeah. You could lose over an hour of this movie and you wouldn't lose any substance. That's the worst part. And I think that's my biggest issues because there is a good movie here. There is a decent movie buried under the weight of some atrociously piss poor or direction and writing, which is surprising. This director's not known for doing something this egregiously boring. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, that's Equalizer 2. It's kind of equal to a lot of meh. And that's the bad thing. Like, it could almost go straight to a 5 or 6 if it just cut down some shit. There's a lot of spies and stuff. If they want to still keep it, because it's so interesting, they cut it down to an hour and 45 minutes. I might be a little bit more. That's the other thing. This movie's 2 hours long, and it does not need to be 2 hours long. Like, it felt like it. A lot of it's like, I don't need this here.
Yeah, there are a lot of moments like it did feel like it's wrong runtime.
Yeah, you should just go, come on.
Yeah, like where's my fast forward button? Where can I?
Husband Sicario de Soldados.
Oh God, that.
Oh, there's a lot of. This is making me just. We were so bored in that movie.
It's like it wasn't just the heat frying our brain that day.
Yeah.
It was also the. The movie just like.
So hey, that's Equalizer 2. You can miss it. It's not really that. Watch it when it comes on Netflix or go rent it when it comes out on Redbox. It's just, I wouldn't say it's worth going to see in theaters. It's just, there's too much.
Basically, just wait till it comes out.
Yeah, wait till it's available on DVD or something. You're not going to miss anything if you wait. So, hey, that's the movie. Next week we have a true spy agency thriller, but hey, this one is just like, fuck it, I know we're just trying to be insane, so here you go, here's your insanity. So next week we'll be back with some Mission Impossible Fallout, and there's probably going to be about 85 poo jokes I'm going to make. So until then, everybody, I'll see you later. So bye bye, everybody.
Bye bye.